Optimal health for the individual is different in every single situation. What we do here at Optimal Health Group is assess each person for their unique qualities to determine what underlying conditions are present that might be the reason for their presenting symptoms. So what we do here is we uniquely look at you as an individual. So we look at the things that are not working for you to be able to give you a sense of well-being and great health. And that might come from many pathways. So you may have an issue in your physical body where you're displaying symptoms. You may have an issue in your emotional system, which is displaying symptoms. You may have an issue in your biochemistry, which is displaying symptoms. So we're looking at all sides of why you're presenting with dis-ease. When we get that picture, what we look for are the root causes of that disruption and of that cause of the symptoms. And once we can identify the root causes, we can define a very clear strategy which is unique to you to be able to work out how we help to restore balance in your body. And that balance is a concept called homeostasis. And when the body is in homeostasis, everything regulates and you get pronounced good health. The body is a set of cells, but the key definer of those cells is light. So our cells contain light, and that is the electrical part of our body. And light combined with water, which we are, 70% of us is water, creates this electrical exchange in the cells, which allows our body to metabolize fuel in the form of food to create energy. If that process is happening, our cells are hydrated and they are energized and they are able to do the jobs they're designed to do, and they're able to repair themselves. The level of reparation is indicative of how well a person is. And we have a marker in our diagnostic tools, which is called the Wellness Index. That Wellness Index looks at your overall diet and lifestyle and nutritional status, looking at the detail behind the cellular exchange so that we understand if somebody is cellularly dehydrated, that they will have problems with cellular respiration and cellular metabolism. So we have a defined marker that helps us to interpret that. The second marker you get within the Wellness Index is you get a look at your autonomic nervous system. Your autonomic nervous system is how you bring the electrical exchange through the mechanics of the body to enable the body to cope with stress. Stress comes in two ways. It comes exogenously, so it is environmentally induced, or it becomes endogenously, which is internally produced. And the nervous system, which is run from the central nervous system from your brain, helps to support the body's restoration of balance, which equals health. So that's part of the Wellness Index. And the final part of the Wellness Index is a look at your vascular system. And your vascular system is the flow in the body. So once you've had metabolism, once you've been able to show and demonstrate that your body can produce energy and then it can show reparation, there needs to be flow through the body so that all the cells in the body are enriched with oxygen, which enables them to repair, and then it enables the body to clear any debris from the system and eliminate it through the lymphatic system. So when the Wellness Index is assessed, those are the three markers that we look at. And if your Wellness Index is low, it will be a marker for one element of those pathways being sub-functional. So the Wellness Index is not really dependent on age. So it is possible to have a low wellness index even if you are useful. But if you're under 35, your wellness index probably is unlikely to go below 75 unless there is a chronic condition. After 35, the wellness index can be anywhere between 28 and 100%. And that will be dictated by how well the cellular exchange is. So symptoms are the body's unique way of telling us when it is not happy. They are not necessarily negative signs. They are really important signs. And if you're able to read the symptoms, it will give you enormous information on what's happening internally. What is really important when you are optimizing health, it is really important not to focus on the symptoms. The symptoms will shift. What we need to focus on and observe is how the symptoms shift. And if we understand how the symptoms are shifting, we can see how the body is adapting to treatments or to our advice. When people have symptoms, what we're keen to see is what is at the root cause of those symptoms. And once you've identified the triggers that are causing the root problems, the management of the symptoms becomes so much easier. So disease is not just a story of no symptoms. It's way, way more than that. It's actually the optimization of the cells to be able to adapt so that symptoms don't continue to present. The only areas that optimal health can't rebalance are where there have been significant interventions. Those would be if an organ has been removed from the body. Clearly, it is not possible to be able to restore the organ. However, it is possible to support the cells that still offer a communication system around that organ to enhance its possibilities. If somebody has had significant treatments such as radiation, where radiation is a permanent solution, it is clearly not possible to restore radiated cells back to normal. If the body is supported appropriately, everything is possible. The body has the ability to restore itself completely every 7 years. So every cell, every organ, every tissue has the capacity to repair itself. Some sooner than others. Understanding that helps to bring great hope to people who often feel that they are at the end of the road and don't know how to design a way forwards to improve their health. If you have strong cellular energy, you will have boundless energy through the day. You will not be feeling fatigued at any point. You will be able to maintain your cognitive function very successfully through the day. You will not have any overt symptoms that last for longer than 24 or 48 hours. You will be sound of mind. You will have a very easy disposition because you will be managing the stress response. You are likely to have bright eyes, good skin, good hair, good nails, because these are all consequences of cellular communication at its best. It will also mean that you have really substantial restorative sleep, which is critical to optimizing your health. And it is likely that you will have a normal appetite, a normal thirst, a normal temperature, a normal flexibility in your joints. All of those things are enormous examples of great cellular function. So optimal health is really based on naturopathic principles. Naturopathy was the original form of medicine pre the introduction of the pharmacological revolution. Naturopathy focuses on everything to do with nature. Our first principle is very much first do no harm. So there would be no reason to introduce anything to support a patient back to well-being that would have any element of negativity or worsening of their condition. The second principle is that we are each unique. Each of us is unique. We have our own individual biochemistry. We have our own genotype. We have our own constitution. We have our own metabolism. It would be wrong to provide a blanket solution for individual health. What we're working for all the time is to ensure that we have captured the essence of you and the essence of your disease so that we can tailor what we do uniquely to support you. The third principle is that as a naturopathic doctor, our key role is to educate. For every patient journey, there is an underlying teaching that goes on. There is nothing that we can do as naturopaths to cure or change the way somebody's health is. The catalyst to change is dependent on the teacher. As we work with each individual patient, we are looking to find the little button that makes all the difference for that individual. And that button could be anything. That button could be just holding that person, allowing that person to have space, loving that person, giving them the capacity to express whatever's happening internally for them. Or it could be recognizing very quickly that their internal environment is very toxic. What they take into their body is very toxic. And so the pathway for the clinicians would be to identify that, point it out to that patient, and then to be able to provide a strategy where they themselves know what to do to unpick the issue so that they go into their own self-regulation. And that is a really, really important principle. Nobody is doing anything to anybody. We're just handing over the power to you, and we're educating you to show you how you can heal. The final principle is that we don't address symptoms. We look at the root cause of the illness, wherever that comes from. Generally, illness starts in the psyche, and it is important that we engage with the emotional and the spiritual and the mental pathway before we step into the more physical and biochemical pathway for that individual.